Welcome to the New England and New York Real Estate Journal radio podcast. I'm Rick Kaplan, your host, and my guest today is Dailey Tipton, and Dailey is with Evolution Energy Partners. How are you, Dailey?
I'm doing great. Great day.
And you're in Pennsylvania or outside of Philadelphia?
Outside of Philadelphia. Exton, Pennsylvania is where our headquarters are. Most of us are in the Philadelphia area, but we have people all across New England and out to Chicago. Actually, have a guy out in Denver as well.
So let's jump right into Evolution Energy Partners and when you started in this industry. You've been in this for a while.
Well, I've been in the environmental sustainability, energy management business for a long time. I got out of the Navy. I flew aircraft for the Navy. Got out of the Navy in 1994 with a master's in civil engineering, focused on environmental, and just decided that I would focus my life in that area. Led me to energy management software, and then about a little over 2.5 years ago, I was working in other areas, working as a consultant. And for most of my career, I had focused on trying to do sustainable initiatives with corporations, Fortune 500s, working for major engineering firms, trying to drive down energy use, drive down safety, or increase their safety, drive down incidents, you name it in the environmental space. But what I found with energy is that if you can drive down cost, you increase the sustainable footprint of an organization. If you drive down the cost with energy, you drive down greenhouse gas, you drive down an impact on the P&L, and you're continuously impacting sustainable operations. So joining forces with Evolution Energy Partners, coming in and helping them build a go-to-market team and really focusing in on expanding what we're doing here, really gave me a platform to take my 25 years of experience in that area and really focus it. And it's really equates in the real estate world where, you look at real estate, you drive down cost, you increase NOI, you increase asset value. Well, we attack the P&L in the utilities line, driving down those costs, impacting NOI, and it's a really, really good partnership in the real estate community. So hope I answered your question there a little.
Yeah, there's a couple of things that came out of that answer. First of all, thank you for your service in the.
Thank you, sir.
It was the Air Force, correct?
Navy.
Oh, the Navy. But yeah. You were in the
Naval Air. Yeah, I
flew
in P-3 Charlie's, anti-submarine warfare aircraft. I got in under Reagan. Flew in the later days of the Cold War. My first deployment to Keflavik, Iceland, chased 27 different Soviet submarines during the summer of '89. And then came home from that deployment, went back out, and the wall was coming down, and the Soviets were not playing as much. And I went into Gulf War #1 into Saudi Arabia, and was there for that, and then came home and basically anti-submarine warfare as my aircraft did it just didn't happen. It all kind of fell apart because the Soviets quit playing. So I looked for another career.
Oh, well, and you found one in the energy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now energy is a big topic because the new President Biden is trying to get rid of all the fossil fuels and, making everything a lot more energy efficient and bringing in electric cars and all that. So how does that play in what you do?
So
and let me mention also this new infrastructure bill.
Yeah, well. And I just got through editing a document today that talks about the infrastructure bill, how the infrastructure bill is going to create infrastructure of EV charging networks throughout the interstate highway system, so that it's going to make EV more accessible across the nation, not just in the in metro area where there may be a consolidated EV chargers. How does it play into all that? When you decrease energy use, you decrease your dependence on fossil fuels, or you decrease your dependency on the consumption of energy. Therefore, you decrease your emissions of greenhouse gas, whether it's, when you burn a light bulb. I don't run them in my office. You can tell them, don't need them. I open the windows for the lights. Don't burn the energy. But the point there is that I'm not burning a fossil fuel, therefore I'm not producing greenhouse gas at the power plant. So the whole idea is, the less you use, the less you emit, the less emissions there are. And the main thing is, the less fossil fuels we burn. The biggest challenge is the actual, coal burning power plants, followed by natural gas. Natural gas is much better than coal, due to the emission of it. But it's just the whole idea is to decrease the amount that we use. And then as we move into more and more renewable energies being online, solar, wind, nuclear to a point. There's a giant nuclear power plant just down the way that produces a ton of energy. But the whole point is that if we can find ways to not use the fossil fuels and decrease the fossil fuels, I don't think in my lifetime we'll see them completely eradicated, but there will be less emissions of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, and then ultimately less global warming, and so on and so forth.
So you think everything's going to start changing? It's not an overnight process, but it will start changing.
No, and the way I feel about it, you asked how does that relate to Evolution Energy Partners. So what we do at Evolution is we focus on an entity in our own way. Let's say it's some real estate investor that has 15 properties. We look at the energy they're purchasing. We look at the energy they're using. We look at all of the systems in all of those 15 buildings, and come up with strategies to increase the efficiency of each one of those buildings, to purchase energy, and sometimes purchase green energy for those buildings, in order to have them run in the most efficient way they can, and ultimately figure out an energy strategy around those buildings that allow them to decrease use, decrease costs. So because if you're going to decrease the cost, it's sustainable. CFO, you can go to the CFO and say, hey man, we want to go all green, we want to do all this, and he goes, oh yeah, how much is it going to cost me? You tell him it's going to cost us an extra $20,000 a year, and he's like, no way, we're not doing that. But if you go to the CFO and you say, hey, look, we're going to do all of these things. We're going to finance the upgrades to the building, and we're going to do that off of the savings, and everything's going to do a net. We're going to ultimately save money. That CFO becomes your best friend, and those projects move forward. We're working on a project right now with a small private college out in Reading, Pennsylvania, a $1 million project. It has 4 aspects to it. It has a campus-wide lighting upgrade that's decreasing 3.4 million pounds of greenhouse gas a year. It's got EV chargers. It's got kitchen hoods and walk-in freezer upgrades that are decreasing the use of energy. And it's got human sensing thermostats in every dorm room, so that the kids, when they go to class, it shuts down their HVAC, and then when they come back and it senses them in the room, it turns them back on. All of that being done, and we financed it by the savings, and it outpaces the cost of the financing. And so net, the CFO is seeing a savings every year based on the energy savings, but he's paying for it with zero money down, zero cash out of pocket, zero outlay of capital, and all of it's being paid back by the savings across the way. On top of that, we're putting all of that on their energy bill, and it's being funded by someone else, and it's being put on their energy bill, so they never really see it in their P&L. It's just an OpEx, and they're getting all those upgrades. So that's, if you wanted to, you said, what do we do in a nutshell? That project kind of encompasses everything in like a nice little snowball, so you can kind of see what we do.
So basically what it comes down to you're crazy if you don't do this because it costs you absolutely nothing. And over time, it actually saves you money.
Right. It'd be like if I came up to you in your house and I said, okay, Rick, I can put a new water heater in, a new HVAC system, new dishwasher, new refrigerator. And you go, how much is that going to cost me? And I go, no money down, nothing. Your energy bill is going to decrease every month. You're going to have a surplus of net spend, and I'm going to finance everything on that energy bill, and you're going to get all new stuff. What would you say? You'd be like, yeah,
No brainer.
exactly. So that's in a perfect world, that's what we do. And and for the longer, that is describing things that outpace the savings in a five, a shorter term capital stack, right? With where the savings outpaces it over a 5 year. But if you get in a longer, like boilers and chillers and facades and roofs and things of that sort, excuse me, things of that sort, there's also other creative financing mechanisms that can be used in order to put those things in. So we're also looking at those longer range projects as well. A little bit more complicated, but still the savings can outpace the capital and or the capital expenditure in the financing, and it just makes sense. And so when you come to work every day, we go back to the Navy. When I got out in '94, I wanted to do something that made a difference every day, because my Navy career, I'd made a difference every day. I'd gone out and done stuff in the world, right? I wanted to do something that made a difference every day. So my career has progressed doing these type of things that allow you to make a difference, and if you feel like you're making a difference. Am I going to solve, or the Paris Accord going to say Dailey Tipton really decrease greenhouse gases and blah blah blah? No, we're just a little bitty piece of the pie. But if in the grand scheme of things, if you do your part, you're making a difference.
Well, it's funny because everyone sort of hems and haw when they hear this infrastructure bill. And also when Biden was talking about, reducing the greenhouse gases. And in reality, all of these things can be done and can be done now with the concept that you have in place.
Absolutely. I will tell you the economics are there. More coal power plants. Well, here's a question for you. A or B. A, more coal-fired power plants were taken out of service under Obama or Trump. The answer is B. It's Trump, and that's because the economics of the current world, it's just not economical to run a coal-fired power plant. And so they're just phasing out because of the economics around it, and it's cheaper to produce energy with either gas, or it's even actually cheaper to produce than gas. It's cheaper to produce it with solar and wind due to the construction costs. But the problem is creating the volume that we need. You can't put wind turbines, we don't have one outside my window here because the wind doesn't blow hard enough. So you have to, and the sun doesn't shine strong enough. You've got to have these things. And so there's other technology that we need to figure out as we go forward. There'll be other innovations. There'll be other things that will allow us to produce energy in the future. Huge projects going on offshore. I don't know if you've heard about the wind farms.
I heard something about these wind farms that I'm not sure where it was. It was in maybe New York, but the people that were against it were sailors. People that were boaters. Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's one going off 60 miles off. It's either 30 or 60 miles off of Hampton, Virginia, and there's another one that's going off on the shelf out south of Nantucket. Two huge arrays going out there. The state of Rhode Island is in on it. There's all kinds of the one off south of Nantucket. Those things are giant, but yes, they're a navigational hazard if you run into them. But so are islands and,
and rocks.
and you
Now,
gotta know.
now I'm a boater, and I know you're you're a competitive sailor.
Yeah, I sail.
Sail.
Yeah.
I'm the reverse. I'm a motorboat.
Well,
know.
I have to tell you, I have a motorboat as well, but
Okay. But that's got to be competitive sailing. That's got to be a lot of fun as well.
Oh yeah, sailing's been a lifetime commitment for me. It's taken me places that I could never have imagined, and sailed offshore and been to Bermuda, Jamaica, all over the islands, on big boats, crewing for guys, and it's been exciting.
And you'll be able to navigate through those wind farms.
If they're marked on the chart, yeah, you have to.
To be honest with you, anyone that's on the water.
Yeah, all you need now is just this.
Right.
All you need is your cell phone to navigate now.
Right.
You have GPS on your cell phone. So
yeah, because if they run into those wind towers, those windmills out in the water, they're probably blind, or they're drunken sailors.
Oh yeah, you never know.
Yeah. Well, Dailey, I appreciate you coming on the show today, and a lot of great information. And it sounds like this is something that most commercial property owners, if they haven't already done it, they should do it, and they probably would want to do it with you, Dailey, right?
Well, I would hope so. And if not with us, some other reputable organization that looks.
So how would they get a hold of you? How would they contact you?
Evolution Energy Partners it's evolutionep.com, or they can go on LinkedIn and find Dailey Tipton or Chuck Urchala, our CEO, or anyone within our organization. But you go on Evolution site, fill out a web form, and we'll be back with you within the day. We try to be very responsive.
Well, thank you, Dailey. Great information. And we were speaking with Dailey Tipton of Evolution Energy Partners, and Dailey just gave you the contact information. Please contact him. I want to thank you all for listening. Until next time, have a great day.
Thank you, Rick.